Hi students, today we are going to solve problems based on capacitance. The questions today we are going to deal, usually it appears in the CBSE board examinations. The first question that we are going to deal today is a ladder problem. What's it? Let me show it on the diagram. Let us suppose that here I have one capacitor. This is my second capacitor. This is another capacitor. Here I have another capacitor. Here I have another capacitor. Say here I have another capacitor. And this network extends up to infinity. Let me say this point is A, this point terminal is B, and the capacitance of each capacitor is C. This extends up to infinity, and the question is, I have to calculate what is the equivalent capacitance of this network. So it is, what is the effective capacitance of this network? Now how to go about it? This network extends up to infinity. Definitely this is going to have some equivalent capacitance. So let me assume that the equivalent capacitance across AB as C effective, okay, or C. So let the effective capacitance of the network across AB B equal to, let me say X. If this is the case, now what I am going to do is, see, I am going to separate out this part. Let me say this point is P, let me say this point is Q. So now when I look at the circuit, I can say that the entire network is actually made up of units. This capacitor and this capacitor together constitutes one unit. So next, if I see, this is the second unit, see, first unit, second unit, third unit, like this network can be assumed to be made up of. If that is the case, now I say that the network of infinite number of units, if the effective capacitance is X, now I say that I am going to leave out one unit, and I say that the effective capacitance across P and Q, what it will be? Will it be equal to X? No, because the effective capacitance is X across AB. But my question is, what will be the effective capacitance across PQ? So it is like, assume that a person has to pay you 1 lakh rupees and 10 paise. If he gives you 1 lakh rupees, will you demand 10 paise? No, you will assume that 1 lakh is approximately equal to 1 lakh rupees 10 paise. 10 paise has no value in comparison to 1 lakh rupees. Similar is the case. What I am going to say is that I have infinite number of units of which this entire network is made up of. The effective capacitance across AB is assumed to be X. If I leave one unit, this one unit is not going to make a lot of difference to the effective capacitance value. So as such, I say, therefore, the effective capacitance across PQ, this time I am not going to write equal to, this is approximately equal to X, though it is not exactly equal, but approximately equal to X. In that case, if I redraw this diagram, I will find that my entire diagram will reduce to a figure like this. This point will be P for me, this will be Q, this will be A, this will be B, this is C, this is C, and this is X, approximately equal to X. So the entire circuit has been reduced to this. Now I have to calculate what is the effective capacitance. So therefore I say that this X and C both are connected in parallel. So therefore I am going to have the circuit reduced to this one. This is C and this together, they are parallel. So effective of this will be, I know in parallel I am going to add simply, so I am going to have C plus X. Now this capacitor and this capacitor both are in series. So therefore effective of this will be the effective capacitance of the circuit, and that the effective of this will be C effective will be equal to, or C effective for us, we said C effective of the entire network is X. So this is X. So X is equal to, see please, these two are in series. So product of the two divided by sum of the two. So therefore C into C plus X upon C plus X, because effective capacitance of the series combination of these two capacitors. Now we need to solve this expression. We'll get the effective capacitance. So let us try to solve it. So I have C into C plus X right side numerator into C into C plus X into C into C plus X is equal to X into this. So X times 2C plus X is what I have. In other words, I will have C square plus Cx is equal to 2 times Cx plus X square. Otherwise X square, if I take this one this side, this will be minus Cx. So 2Cx minus Cx will be plus Cx, and if I take this one the other side, minus C square is equal to 0. So this is a quadratic equation I need to solve for X. When I try to solve it, X is equal to, minus B. So B is C for me. So minus B plus or minus root of B square. So it is C square, B square minus 4 times A. A is 1 and C, 4AC. So 4AC is minus C square upon 2 times A is 1, so 2 times 1. Further, X is equal to minus C plus or minus root of C square, minus into minus plus 4C square upon 2, or X is equal to minus C plus or minus C square, I can take out C, so 5, so I shall say root 5, C is out of the root upon 2. Otherwise X is equal to, I'll have C taken common, I will have root 5 minus 1 upon 2, or rather I would say like this. I can split this one into 2. X is equal to minus C plus root 5 C upon 2, comma, the second expression will be minus C minus root 5C upon 2. This is the negative value. So negative value capacitance we are not going to consider. So I am going to leave this one. I will have X is equal to minus 1 plus root 5. So I write root 5 minus 1 into C upon 2. So this is the effective capacitance of this ladder problem. So let us move on to the next problem. The next problem is, I have 5 capacitors connected like this. Now the problem is that I have 5 capacitors connected in this fashion, and A and B are the 2 points. Now the question is, it is said that point A and point B both are at same potential. So I say A and B are at same potentials, Now I have to find the relation between C1, C2, C3 and C4. This is our question. Now in that case, how shall we go? See, here we have a source of EMF. This is going to charge the capacitors. In that case, let me assume that the charge is flowing from the positive terminal and comes over here, and let me say this capacitor gets a charge of Q1 and this capacitor gets a charge of Q2. So the charge given by this capacitor is Q1 plus Q2. Be mindful that already the condition is given that the point A and B are at same potential. It means the capacitor C5 is not going to charge. That means when these are at same potential, C5 is not going to get charged. That means even if I remove this capacitor from the problem, this is not going to make any difference, because these two are at same potential, charge is not going to flow through this path. So that means now this Q1 charge, we know that C1 and C2 are in series. So Q1 charge, we know when the capacitors are in series, the charges that are going to appear on the capacitors will be same. So that means this capacitor will also have charge Q1. These two are in series. If Q2 is the charge here, then this capacitor is going to have charge of Q2. In that case, now very important point we need to note is, see please, this point is common to both C1 and C3. So this point is at the same potential. That means these two plates are at same potential. Point A and B are also at same potential. That means this plate and this plate are same potentials. That means potential difference across C3 and potential difference across C1 both are same. So I shall write potential difference across C1 is equal to potential difference across C3. If that is the case, I know that on C1 charge is Q1, so I know the relation between these three. So I will write V is equal to Q by C1. So therefore I write Q1 by C1 is equal to Q2 by C3, because on C3 charge is Q2. So let me say this is first expression for me. Now let me check this one and this, C2 and C4. So see, this point is common for both C2 and C4. That means this plate and this plate are at same potential. Similarly, A and B are at same potential. So therefore this potential, this plate and this plate has the same potential. So that means potential difference across C2, potential difference across the plates of C4, both are equal. What I mean is, see, V2, potential difference across capacitor C2 is equal to potential difference across capacitor C4. Now I know the relation between these three. So this becomes Q1 upon C2 is equal to Q2 upon C4. Let me say this is equation 2. Actually, I need to find the relation between C1, C2, C3 and C4. So what I am going to do is, this time I am going to divide either equation 1 by 2 or otherwise equation 2 by 1. So dividing equation 1 by 2, I will have Q1 upon C1 divided by Q1 upon C2 is equal to Q2 upon C3 by, it is Q2, so Q2 upon C4. So Q2 and Q2 goes off, Q1 and Q1 goes off, I have C2 upon C1 is equal to C4 upon C3. So this is the relation among C1, C2, C3, C4. Else I can write C2, C3 is equal to C1, C4 this way. Now C2 and C3, C2 and C3, we say these are the two capacitors on opposite arms. Opposite arms. C1 and C4 are the capacitors on opposite arms. Now, whenever we have capacitors connected in this fashion, like this, we name this sort of connection as Wheatstone's bridge, which we are going to study in the next chapter. So, Wheatstone's bridge. So, thus, when we have capacitors connected in the form of Wheatstone's bridge, and when the point A and B are at same potential, be mindful, when these two are at the same potential, we say Wheatstone's bridge is balanced. Balanced. Question may arise, sir, if these two potentials are not same, then bridge is not balanced. So for us, the condition is already given, so the bridge is balanced one. So whenever the bridge is balanced, that means we can remove this connection. So whenever bridge is balanced, then condition says that, see, the product of the capacitances of opposite arms. This is the product and these are the capacitance of opposite arms. So the product of the capacitances of opposite arms are always equal. So this solves our problem. Let us move on to the next problem. See, this is one question which is based on Wheatstone's bridge. Let me see whether it is a balanced or not. I know the Wheatstone's bridge will be balanced if the product of the opposite arms capacitances are equal. So opposite arms 3 into 2, 6, and if I say 3 into 2, 6, that means the bridge is balanced. I can remove this. So I will remove this terminal. I have to find the effective capacitance of the combination. I have to find the effective capacitance of the combination. In that case, I am going to solve this problem in two ways, and I will use this concept to solve one more problem. Okay. So the first is, see please, these two are in series. So we say for the top one, it will be 3 into 2 divided by 3 plus 2 for series effective capacitance. Let me say this is C dash, and this will work out 3 into 2, 6 upon 5. What about this one? Let me say C double dash. These two are in series, so therefore 3 into 2, it will be same. So therefore this is going to be 6 by 5. Now the circuit will be reduced like this. The top one C dash for me, and the bottom one it will be C double dash. So both are connected in parallel. So therefore the effective capacitance will be 6 by 5 plus 6 by 5, which is going to be 12 upon 5. 12 upon 5 microfarad. So this is the effective capacitance of the two. Now, this is first method. Okay. Second method, see please, the same circuit let me have like this. The bridge is balanced. Now what I say, I see that when I draw a dotted line like this, and if I fold this bridge like this, I see that the capacitors are symmetrically connected. See, 3 microfarad superimposes on 3 microfarad, 2 microfarad superimposes on 2 microfarad. Whenever it happens like this, then we say this is folding symmetry. In that case, A and B will join together, and therefore these two are at same potential. In that case, see please, the diagram can be redrawn like this. See, when I join A and B, so in that case, the top one is 3 microfarad. This is 3 microfarad. When I join this, so this 3 microfarad is connected in parallel to this one, 3 microfarad, and 2 microfarad and 2 microfarad will be parallelly connected when I fold and join A and B together, because they are at same potentials. So here 2 and 2 are connected in parallel. Two microfarad and 2 microfarad. Now I am going to calculate what is the effective capacitance using the second method. Here I see that these two are in parallel, so I will have C dash, which will be equal to 6 microfarad, and this will be equal to 4 microfarad. 4 microfarad, and effective of this series combination is going to be C effective will be equal to, they are in series, so 6 into 4 upon 6 plus 4, or C effective will be equal to 6 4s are 24 upon 10, otherwise C effective is going to be 2 5s are 10, 2 12s are, so 12 by 5 microfarad. So that means the answer that I got here is same as that of this one. However, here I considered in the first method these two in series and these two in series, then the effective of those C1, C dash and C double dash I considered as parallel and I calculated. In the second method, what I did, I found that there is a folding symmetry. I folded the top part such that the when I folded, I see that point A is coinciding with point B. It means that because of whenever there is a symmetry in the circuit, then potential at point A and potential at point B, when they are coinciding, they will be at same potential. In that case, I can also consider my circuit like this and I will get the same answer. So let us move on to the another problem, very interesting problem. Yes. So this is the problem actually. The main problem is this one. From this circuit I have derived these circuits. So first let me explain this one. This is a two-dimensional circuit and I have shown you the capacitors connected. My question is, we want to calculate what is the total charge that has moved from positive terminal of the battery to the effective capacitance of this circuit. I want to calculate what is the total charge that has flown in the circuit, let me say. So therefore, this is Q. I want to calculate what is this. The source has 40 volt. Now to solve this, I said this is a two-dimensional picture. Now this can be easily solved by assuming or reconstructing this two-dimensional picture into three-dimensional. So what I do, I am going to push this A, B, C, D back. So when I push it back, you see that the figure comes into a three-dimensional picture. So A, B, C, D has been pushed back. So to me, this looks like a cube, or it's a cube, and 12 arms it has, and on each arm there is a capacitor. Now to further analyze the circuit, the top EABF, I have drawn here EABF. Similarly at the bottom HDCG, HDCG, and I can have all the arms. Why I drew this? In the last question we saw if there is any symmetry, then the problem becomes very simple for us. So therefore, see please, when the charge flows here, this charge divides here, and this is 2 microfarad, this is 2 microfarad. So I want to see whether there is any symmetry or not. So therefore, I am going to draw a diagonal here, and if I fold this one, I see the dotted line, this side and the opposite side both look symmetrical. When I fold, F will coincide with A, it means F and A are at the same potential. Similarly, at the bottom, I see that there is a symmetry. If I fold this one, I see D and G are at the same potential. Now, sir, this is a three-dimensional picture. You have taken only the top part and the bottom part and you say that it is symmetrical. See, if any charge flows down, this is going to flow through 1 microcoulomb. Okay, this way also it is going to flow through 1 microcoulomb, right? Similarly, see, the charge flows here 2 microcoulomb and here 2 microcoulomb. From 1 microcoulomb the charge comes, from 2 microcoulomb comes and combines. Similarly, see, from 1 microcoulomb and from 2 microcoulomb comes and combines and to flow here. So therefore, entirely it is symmetrical. In that case, now I can simplify this diagram as, see, let me draw the figure once again. So this is going to be A, B, C, D, B, C and D. In that case, let me name it as A, B, C, D, and I know that A and F are at the same potentials. So A and F are at the same potential, same point. Similarly, D and G are at same potentials. Now, if I see please, E and A are connected. So let me place my E here, and G and H are connected. So I am going to place H here. So this is H for me. Now see, A to B, one capacitor. So this is one capacitor. A to B, F to B, I have one capacitor and they are connected. See, A and F are at same potential, so that means these two are connected in parallel. Okay, then B to C, I have a capacitor, so therefore B to C, I have a capacitor. and C to D. C to D I have a capacitor, so therefore C to D a capacitor, and C to G I have one more capacitor, so therefore C to G. So from B to C I have B one terminal, C one terminal, so one capacitor. So instead of drawing like this, let me draw this one like this. What about D to H? D to H, there is one capacitor. D to H, there is one capacitor. And G to H, there is another capacitor. How about A to E? A to E, there is one capacitor. So therefore A to E, one capacitor. F to E, I have one more capacitor. Then do I have anything connected across E and H? Across E and H there is a capacitor. So therefore across E and H there is a capacitor. So this is 4 microfarad. So 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10. 2 more capacitors I want. So therefore A to D, F to G, these are to be connected. So A to D, A to D and F to G, F to G. So this is the circuit, and this is connected to a source like this to 40 volt. If I write the values, I will see this capacitor A to D has 1 microfarad, F to G has 1 microfarad, and rest of the capacitors will be 2 microfarad. All capacitors are 2 microfarad. Now that means this was the given problem. I redrew the circuit like this. Then to show the symmetry, I showed you like this. Finally, the diagram has been reduced to this one. Now we are in a position to calculate the effective capacitance, to calculate the total charge stored in the effective capacitance. So therefore, these two are parallel. So let us put this way. Four microfarad at the top, and this happens to be parallel. So therefore, this is 4 microfarad, and these two together 4, this is 2, 4, this is 2, and this is 4, and this is 4. And here we have this is 2, this is 2, this one and this one, rather it is 1. Now these three are in series, so this will be 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4. Okay, so let me redraw then here. So I have 1 by 4 plus 1 by 2 plus 1 by 4. I hope quarter plus half plus quarter will become 1. Okay, so if I redraw this diagram, so this will be 4, and I have this is 1, another 4, here it is 1, and here it is 1, and the top, this is 4. Now these 3 together make 3, so therefore 4, 3, 4, 4, 3, 4, top it is 4, 4. In that case, these 3 are now in series. So 1 by 4 plus 1 by 3 plus 1 by 4. One by 4 plus 1 by 4, 1 by 2. So 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3. This is 4 microfarad. So I am left with 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 3. These 3 is equal to 1 by CS. Otherwise 1 by CS is equal to 1 by 4 plus 1 by 4, 1 by 2 plus 1 by 3. Otherwise I have CS is equal to 2 into 3 divided by 2 plus 3, which is equal to 6 by 5. So this happens to be 6 by 5. Now the effective capacitance, they are in parallel, so therefore the effective capacitance is going to be C effective parallel of these two. So C effective is equal to 4 plus 6 by 5, which will be C effective is equal to 26 by 5. So 26 by 5 microfarad is the effective capacitance of this combination. However, I want to calculate what is charge. So I know, see, V is given, Q I have to calculate, C effective I know. So the relation Q is equal to C effective into VCV. So C effective into V, and Q is equal to 26 by 5 into 40, otherwise Q is equal to, this will be microcoulomb. So 4 6 are 24, 4 2s are 8, plus 2 10, 0 by 5, or rather I can say 5 8s are 40. Say, let's do this way, 5 8s are 40, Q is equal to 8 6 are 48, 4 8 2s are 16 plus 4 20, so 208 microcoulomb. So this is the total charge that has flown in the circuit to charge this capacitors. So dear students, let us stop the session here. Thank you very much.